Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SAGU Sports Network. My name is Evan the Astro Kid, and I am here with my co-host,
the Duke.
And we have Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for you tonight. This is the Week 4 ECAC regular season game, and I'm very excited for this. How are you feeling, Duke?
I am also very excited for this because we get to see a character that not a lot of people usually play in the competitive scene. We're going up against a Duck Hunt team.
Very interesting, and we'll kind of touch up on that later and why that's a little weird. But this is going to be very exciting because seeing characters like a Duck Hunt and a Mii Sword Fighter in one game in a competitive scene, you usually don't get to see things like that.
It doesn't really happen.
No, it doesn't. But we might see it here today, and I'm very excited. So for all of you people at home who are wondering what is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, what are we playing, what are we doing, I'm going to give you a quick rundown in just a second. But first, we're going to touch up on some of the earlier broadcasts we've done these last few weeks. Week 1, SAGU actually got a win. Well, technically it was week 2, but it was our first game against Illinois Wesleyan. And as you can see there, we have Efer, BKR, and Talo Halo. They are 3 swingers, power hitters, power players for the SAGU Esports Lions Super Smash Bros. Team. And right here, you're seeing what is the stocks they take, which in Super Smash Bros. Stocks is the equivalent of like getting a kill in your standard video game. And then on the number on the right is how many stocks they lost or how many times they got killed themselves. So as you can see, Efer going 7-6, BKR going 9-5, and Talo Halo only going 2-0 because in Game 2 he didn't even play.
Yeah, we see this on BKR's deaths. He only had 5 gone because he was able to get through 2 opponents and didn't even allow Talo Halo to play that game, which was fine. We love to see it.
Absolutely.
That's the goal.
Yeah, that is the goal. And we'll explain kind of how the point system works, the rule system works, why you're seeing what you're seeing, but for those who have been following us for these last couple weeks, this is very, very impressive. Every single one of them had a positive ratio where their kills taken were higher than their kills lost, and we are very, very impressed with our team. And then week 3, we were up against Wayne State. Now, these two teams at the time were both undefeated, and this was kind of a knockout game where these guys were really going back and forth. It ended up going to Game 3, and these play in a best of 3. So the first team to 2 wins. And as you can see, the breakdown for the total players stock to stock lost ratio were mostly positive. 2 out of 3 being positive, and Efer being basically right there, only a couple stocks behind of being at least even. But they did a really, really good job, especially BKR, getting double digits on the stocks taken. I mean, that was a really good game.
I think another thing that we need to think about when we're looking at these, they did go to a Game 3, and that's probably because Wayne State is technically the reigning champions of the ECAC Smash League.
Yeah.
So it was a really, really cool game to watch the SAGU Lions kind of overthrow that hurdle, and yeah.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, they had won that championship finals last semester, and it was actually kind of a rematch because it was against SAGU, I believe.
It was.
Yeah, SAGU played them in the finals, and as you can see here, these are different clips from the game last week, and they just did a phenomenal job. BKR getting 10 stocks throughout those 3 games.
He's right in the middle, so he's able to probably play against the highest majority of people, so it's really interesting to see that he was able to thrive in that area, even though those were some very, very intense opponents for him to go up against.
Yeah, absolutely. And in Game 2, BKR getting 5 kills, doing a phenomenal job, taking 5 stocks all by himself. That is very, very impressive. And then Talo Halo, Game 1, also getting 5 stocks. Just this absolute just back and forth game that ended up being really close all the way up until the end. I mean, the last game we saw, Game 3, it was last stock, high percentages. It was really just white knuckle, nail biter kind of experience, and it was awesome.
I mean, I think both, maybe not BKR, but I believe that Talo Halo is stock by stock ahead, and I believe that BKR is as well. And the only reason that I would say that Efer is not is because he has put it the front, and it's a lot harder to do. And, you know, they all play differently in different character matchups and whatnot. But right now we're seeing Talo Halo against Chef Louis in, I believe, the first game.
Yeah.
Where what a clean back air.
Yeah, so this whole game was very well played by our SAGU Lions and very well played by Wayne State. There's a reason why they were the reigning champions of this league last semester, because they are very strong. Chef Louis on his Terry, which is the character you're seeing on the screen, very, very strong character, can get really explosive kills and have high kill, can get kills at really low percents and has a really strong performance just all around at earlier percents and high percents.
It's true.
And we even saw a Banjo-Kazooie, which is kind of an
interesting pick.
Yeah, a very off, we'll explain what this means later, off-meta character or just kind of unorthodox character.
Yeah.
And it was very cool to see because they were playing this Banjo-Kazooie at a very high level, and it was just a great game. And for today, the SAGU Lions are playing up against Southern Arkansas University Gold. They are the Mule Riders, and these two teams are in the top 4 of the division. And honestly, Southern Arkansas University, or SAU, has only lost to Wayne State, which as of right now, as we just said, currently, they are number 2 in the league, and last semester they were the reigning champs, and it's the only person they've lost to. So this is going to be, again, quite a game.
Close match, probably.
Probably. It is absolutely anyone's game. And after talking with Taylo, as we said earlier, this could be a pretty interesting matchup because they are playing a Duck Hunt. And Duck Hunt is not a character you play against a whole lot. But earlier we saw BKR getting some pretty good Duck Hunt training.
Yeah, and quick play online.
Yeah, and it just happened to work out that way. And so we're hoping to see some really good gameplay between these two teams. But just for you viewers at home who are not entirely sure how this game works, here's a little basic foundational understanding of what Super Smash Bros. Is and how one would go about playing it and understanding it. So Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a game known as a platform fighter, where you play as a character on a floating platform and try to hit the other characters off of said platform to win. You can win by either a point system or a limited life system, with the most common being each character has a limited amount of lives, or in this game they are referred to as stocks. So anytime we say stocks, we're basically referring to their lives. There is also an invisible wall or a barrier right outside the view of the screen, and if you get knocked into said invisible barrier, you will lose a stock. If you lose all of your stocks, you lose. Now, each time your character gets hit, you have a percentage associated with your character that will increase. This percentage can be seen at the bottom of the screen, and your character's percentage is the one next to your character's picture. The more that percentage increases, the more you fly back, what's known as knockback, from each following hit you receive, making it easier for the opponent to knock you into said invisible barrier and take one of your stocks. And keep in mind, each character has a basic amount of 27 button press combinations, or moves, they can use to increase the percentage on the opponent and knock them into the barrier. Each character's moves are specific to their character, while others have just the basic 27. But each character's moves, even the basic 27, are unique and function differently from all the other 86 characters in the game. It's a lot of characters.
A lot of matchups.
A lot of matchups. There are different shapes and sizes of platforms as well that can be chosen, which are known as stages. And in the basic game, there are 103 stages you can choose, but in competitive Smash Brothers, to make sure everything is fair, there's 8 legal stages, and it can change, making it more dynamic.
With that being said, I believe we are going into game 1.
Yes, we are hopping into game 1, and as we're in this game, kind of intermittent, I'll kind of explain how this works. This is what's known as crew battle. Each player on each team has 3 stocks. The team has 9 stocks amongst them. Reduce all of the enemy team's stocks, and you win the game, and you are trying to win 2 games out of 3. And as we can see up first, we have Efer, and they're actually starting with their Duck Hunt.
Yep. Didn't really expect that, but I mean, hey, it's a strategy.
Yeah, it is. And as we can see, this Duck Hunt. So, as we're talking about this, Caden, what is meta? What does meta mean?
There are so many different ways that we can probably explain what the quote-unquote meta of a game is, but essentially, I think of meta as what is definitively better than something else in the game. So like in this game, not getting hit is the meta, because if you get hit, you're going to take damage and inevitably fall off or outside of those boundaries that you were talking about earlier, and different things to push an opponent off is what would be considered the meta, or getting combos, or using projectiles, and it kind of changes in different circumstances, but I think that's the base of what meta would be.
Yeah, absolutely. And just whatever is the most viable, most efficient way to win and to overpower and succeed against your opponent. And the thing about Duck Hunt is he's very off meta. Not a lot of people play him.
It's true.
He's very complicated to play. He has a lot of specific techniques, a lot of off-kilter and unorthodox moves that can make him very difficult to understand at kind of a basic level. But a good Duck Hunt, as we can see here, already taking a stock off of Ether, can be very, very strong.
Yeah.
So right now, not able to recover there. I think I would put that in the vein of an SD. I don't know if he hit him with his plunger.
It was. I don't believe that plunger was out, but it's unfortunate to see either way.
Yeah. Luigi, the character that Ether is playing, he has a move that allows him to shoot out a plunger and grab the opponent. And the cool thing about that move is it can detach, and after it detaches, as you can see there, it actually has a way to hit people. So you can use that on the ledge, and it can stop people from getting back onto the stage, which can be very, very effective.
Yeah.
But as we can see here, Ether has evened up the stocks. They are both 2 stocks apiece. And right now he's very much on the defensive, and with that forward smash, able to take the stock, and Ether still holding his own.
Something that I haven't noticed, and this might just be me because I don't see a lot of Duck Hunts playing, Luigi's neutral B beats Clay Pigeon.
Oh, interesting.
And it totally just makes it go away.
Okay.
Crazy.
That is very good to know. And maybe it's one of the properties of the Fireball. I think
it has multiple hitboxes that come out, so that would make sense.
Okay. But yeah, Duck Hunt's Clay Pigeon, which is that disc you see right there, it kind of looks like a Frisbee. Clay Pigeon is very, very strong. It can combo into itself, where a combo is one move that sets you up to hit another move, and you getting successive moves in a row to deal lots of damage. The cool thing about Duck Hunt is that little disc that he throws actually combos into itself.
Yeah.
And it can rack up a lot of percent, get a lot of damage in, and can lead him to follow up with that can that explodes, as you can see. Duck Hunt is based off of a game that came out, I don't know the exact date, and yep, there's that forward smash, but a game that came out some time ago that was about you being a hunter and you shooting pigeons.
Ducks,
hunting ducks and pigeons and like clay pigeons and ducks and whatever, and they took from that, and so that little can is an explosive can that you would normally be able to shoot in the original game, but in here it's very explosive, very dangerous.
Let's talk about can. Can is the neutral B option, correct? So how you play with can as a Duck Hunt main kind of depends on how you play, because if you can play with can and have it to where your opponents can't play around it, you just win.
Yeah, absolutely. And can is one of those abilities that's more about setting up for things, to where if you have already set things in place for them to be there, because for all intents and purposes, can doesn't move across the map really quickly.
Sure.
Because it kind of has to bounce around the way the mechanic works.
It can, but you have to be intentionally trying to get it to move.
Yes.
And it takes away, your train of thought from, oh, well, I also need to grab so I can throw into can, which is a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And this Duck Hunt, putting a lot of work in right now. They are up Southern Arkansas is up 2 stocks against SAGU. But as we said, BKR got a little bit of training against a Duck Hunt earlier today, so we will see if he is able to maybe even up this game. But just for you watchers at home that aren't entirely sure, this is what is known as a crew battle, where there are 2 teams, 3 players on each team, each player with their own character that they play. Each player has 3 stocks, giving 9 stocks in total for each team. And the first 2 players fight each other, trying to take the other player's 3 stocks, as we just saw. Once one player loses all 3 of their stocks, as Ether just did, that team rotates to the next player, which means BKR is now up. Teams don't move on to the next player until the current player loses all 3 of their stocks. So as we see in this next game, Duck Hunt lost 1 stock in the last game, so he is going to take one of his own stocks.
Unless he doesn't remember that he can, and that was a big oopsie, but it is okay.
It is okay.
Moving on from here.
Yep, and he takes one of his stocks, and now he comes into this game with 2 stocks because Ether was able to take 1, and then the team, to make the other team lose all 9 of their stocks, wins the set. And you must win 2 games out of 3 to win. But here we see both players playing very safe, this Duck Hunt being very strong.
Trying to throw into can again. Just kind of a core bread and butter aspect of Duck Hunt gameplay. And again, we're going to see a lot of item management as, kind of the start of a combo with that banana into the down air. But we're just going to see probably some more hard reads in this game as BKR has to work around Can and Clay Pigeon, as well as the Cowboys that have their pistols out to shoot long distance.
Absolutely. And the thing about Cowboys is their shot is usually delayed, so Duck Hunt can do things to kind of prepare for that Cowboy shot. And you see there that Can, oh my goodness, that Can being so strong and taking a stock off of BKR, and now SAGU is down 3 whole stocks against this Duck Hunt starting out. This Duck Hunt getting a very strong start.
Again, utilizing the run away and throw out a projectile, it's optimal in this game scenario because you don't want to be close to Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong has those combo chains that can put you from 0 to 50 very, very fast.
And this Duck Hunt playing very smart, playing very safe, and as you said, this Duck Hunt using these projectiles to his advantage, not getting too close, because if you get too close to Diddy Kong, you're
going to get hit by banana.
You are going to get hit by his banana, which is a move that he can pull out and throw at opponents. And projectiles are very strong in this game, just because it gives you a way to hit the opponent without giving them much of a chance of hitting you. And
another SD.
Wow. Honestly, that looked like a footstool.
It might have been, but honestly, at that point, he probably could have jumped out of it and then gone for the up because Duck Hunt has a great, vertical recovery. And
absolutely.
Wow. Makes sense.
Yeah, Can taking that next stock, and still Southern Arkansas.
The down air banana combos, what did I say? 0 to 60.
Yeah, the banana is so strong because you can throw it and then throw it again and pick it up, and banana has a very unique mechanic where it trips the opponent. And BKR getting a great combo, holding his own, trying to take this stock and hopefully go into the next game and try to clean some up a bit. But we're going to see if this Duck Hunt is able to overcome this BKR aggression, this Diddy Kong aggression.
And what's scary about having to play Duck Hunt in the corner like that is you're at 90. You can get hit by something and die if you're that close to the edge.
Absolutely. Being at 90%, getting hit by banana, getting hit by forward smash, and the same goes for Diddy Kong. Getting hit by Can, getting hit by Clay Pigeon, those things can very much spell a loss of a stock, considering how dangerous all of these moves are.
And up smash not working twice because it is not the best move. But, it's good because it's fast.
It's very quick, and you can get out of it. You can get to a point where you're holding shield, which is that little bubble you'll see them hold out every now and again. Oh, and going for the up special.
The BKR special, ladies and gentlemen.
That was a great job by BKR to kind of read that situation, play his cards right. Very well done.
He said, it was a big call out, I think, because he said, if you want to be under that platform, a little known fact is my up B hits below that.
Yeah.
So.
And that makes it very, very strong, very, very good. But BKR is going to go into the next game with 1 stock left, and we'll see if he can just take 1 stock before losing one. That would be a lot easier for Talo Halo to come into this next game. But yeah, right now, in between the games, they do things like picking the stage, which is where they fight, picking their characters and all these different things, and they have to talk to the other schools using online chat services like Discord, where they kind of figure out how they're going to do things and, what's going to be the most effective way to do this. But, I think BKR can do it.
I do too, and I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think they put their anchor first? And see, it's a hard question because last semester we see their anchor being the Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
But they, it's a new semester. New players can come in. Are we going to see somebody that's a heavier hitter? And how is that going to affect the Lions' gameplay?
Honestly, I think they did start with their anchor. I think they're starting with their anchor now to kind of get a feel for how things are going to play. And I don't know if this Duck Hunt has played Talo Halo before, but maybe this Duck Hunt is saying, is that a Mega Man?
That's what I saw. I was like,
wow.
Oh, Mega Man, baby.
So we are seeing 2 very off-meta, unorthodox characters being played right now, and we will see if this Mega Man is able to...
A gutsy upbeat towards opponent. Ooh.
Yeah, very intimidating. But we will see if this matchup against Mega Man, again, a very projectile-heavy character. I will say the one difference about Mega Man is that he has a lot of tools for fighting up close. Like, his aerials are really good at getting people off of you. Like, you're seeing that flame arc. I don't know what it's actually called, but it is his forward aerial attack.
Right.
Very, very strong. But, oh.
Unfortunate.
And able to stop him with the banana there. And look at that. BKR getting a stock and only at 12%. Very good for BKR.
Reading the roll through, too, with that banana throw, it didn't quite catch, but that would have been quite something if it had.
That would have been. And BKR doing a great job at playing to his strengths, getting in close, not giving this Mega Man a chance to kind of use the projectiles that he wants to. Mega Man actually has an ability that's his down special attack, which is like a spinning leaf wheel.
Leaf shield.
Yeah, and I'm surprised to see him not using it because it's very, very strong. It's very quick, and it protects you, and you can throw it at opponents.
Are we going to talk about how he just rolled through the sticky bomb?
Oh, I did not see that.
He totally was able to just bypass it by rolling.
Interesting. Well, BKR is very well versed in a lot of these matchups, and I'm curious. See, that's that leaf shield I was talking about, and I'm curious if BKR has actually played this matchup before, and if he knows kind of the strategy to victory here.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's doing a really good job.
Oh.
And getting the grab after the down tilt, I believe it was. Using banana to. Oh, and the double down tilt into the up smash attack.
That'll take a stock.
That was a very great combo by BKR, one of Diddy Kong's strongest.
I think the lines are back to where they want to be with one stock left.
Yeah, and then basically resetting the stock deficit. Very good job by BKR, playing very, very well.
I also want to note that both Duck Hunt and Mega Man, not the greatest Diddy Kong matchups.
No, not entirely. BKR, for the most part, is playing at a disadvantage because Diddy Kong relies so heavily on getting up close, and these characters are so projectile heavy, where they can just throw out all of these flaming attacks and bombs and buzzsaws. And
they can live at a distance, and they're totally fine with that.
Yeah, and Diddy Kong, he needs to be able to get up close and personal to get all of these combos and take the opponent's stock, and so he is playing from a deficit, so him doing this good is very impressive.
It's true. But the question is, can he close it out and get the third stock off the Mega Man?
And it's looking pretty promising.
He's in a very scary situation with nearly max rage, kind of throwing off his combo game just a little bit, but also he hits much, much harder.
Absolutely. And speaking of rage, one of the cool mechanics in... Oh, not the air dodge.
It happens.
Unfortunate. Yeah, the move, when you air dodge and you, like...
I think it was probably buffered.
You think so?
And so how the game works is it will remember a certain amount of moves. So say you're doing a neutral special. You click jump in that neutral special. The next thing that your character is going to do is jump. You've buffered that move. And so what I think might have happened was he went to go for an air dodge, but then something hit him, and then he accidentally buffered it. I don't really know. Yeah. But it's an SD. It's unfortunate, and it happens.
Yeah, SD, self-destruct, very sad. And the thing about buffering your moves is this is a very common fighting game mechanic where you'll be in the middle of like he was saying, the Duke was saying, in the middle of an animation for one move, and you push a button for another move while in that animation, and it immediately does that next thing once the animation is done. And that's a way you can kind of preemptively plan for things, and we think he, like you said, may have just been pushing a button and just trying to get out of the situation, which is very unfortunate, but... the Duke was mentioning something about Rage earlier. Now, Rage is a mechanic in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate where the higher your percentage is, it's almost like a comeback effect, like a
kinda, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a comeback mechanic where the higher percentage your character is, which keep in mind, at a high percentage, the more you fly back, the easier it is for you to get knocked into the barrier and lose a stock. So you are susceptible to dying very
Much
easily.
more, yeah.
Yeah. But the higher percentage you are, just to make sure that you're still in the game somewhat, you actually do more damage. And it's not like a crazy high amount, but it's enough to make a difference.
Yeah, you do more damage, you do more knockback, and that caps it around 150%.
Yeah, so once you hit 150%, you are at what's known as maximum rage. And so you are doing the absolute maximum damage you could possibly be doing. And that's, as we said, a really good comeback mechanic for a lot of players that, like we saw BKR at 147, I believe it was.
Yeah.
But we're going to get into this Game 3, or this final matchup. Well, no.
No. Game 3.
Depending, yeah.
The SAGU Lions Game 3.
Okay. I'm mixing up my words here.
It's okay.
But, yeah, with Talo Halo also being, Sword Fighter being a surprisingly strong projectile character.
They both love living at that, mid-stage range, which is going to be really interesting to see who can, follow up with what. And right now I believe that Talo Halo is simply just trying to rack on some percentage to get him to that kill percent. And,
yeah, and
just a lot of projectiles.
Yeah, and he's playing a game plan right now that's almost forcing this Mega Man to go out of his way to try and move in closer and approach, which he's not as strong up and close to the opponent. Mega Man is much stronger at a distance, but Talo Halo's tornado that he keeps throwing out is so strong and can do so much damage that, he's forcing this Mega Man into a tight position. As you can see, 83%. There goes Talo Halo, continuing his strategy of just playing safe, playing back.
It's the process of being safe and also playing fast and then trying to hit your confirms that makes this matchup so back and forth. You know? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, this music is so fitting for this kind of gameplay right here.
It really is.
I don't, this
peak Smash Brothers in my opinion.
Absolute peak Super Smash Brothers gameplay right here. Two characters sitting at the edge of the map, just throwing projectiles at each other.
And I think that's it.
Nope. Oh, he didn't get the kill hitbox, which in Smash Brothers, how you actually deal damage is there are what are known as hitboxes, where when you throw out an attack, there's an area that is designated to hurt the opponent, and that's known as a hitbox. There are some hitboxes on certain moves that can kill, and there are some hitboxes that do not.
That'll do it.
Wow, and that'll do it. The forward tilt attack, taking the stock.
Who would have thought that a game that's so far away would have ended with a move that hits real close?
Wow, that was wonderful. That was wonderful. Talo Halo getting this Mega Man fighter onto ledge, pressuring him, getting the forward tilt, taking the stock. Wonderful job. And if my sources are correct, I assume that was Crimson the Ruddy, most likely.
I really don't know.
We will see.
We'll see. It depends on who plays next. I think that'll help us get a more valid grasp of who played.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think Talo Halo did really good there. I mean,
it was a silly game.
What are you gonna do? You're up against a Mega Man, so you just
it's a game of patience.
You throw projectiles and keep throwing projectiles. And
it's a game of catch, but you don't want to catch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
it's a game of. That's a great way to say that. I would never think of that. That's awesome. But yeah, we are going to get into this final game here. We are going to see the third player for SAU and up against Talo Halo. And again, Talo Halo still having 3 stocks. BKR did a great job at kind of closing that gap of that deficit. And so, and I really believe this is probably Defoe. Because we were talking about him being a Roy and a Crom main. So I believe that last player was Crimson the Ruddy, doing a great job on Mega Man. But here we have Defoe on Roy, and Roy is very fast, very strong.
Very rushdown heavy. So I think it'll be fun to watch Talo Halo have to differentiate between, do I need to play far away and rack up damage with projectiles and be patient, or do I need to approach this rundown that is Roy,
Absolutely. And as you can see, Talo Halo playing very smart, getting grabs when he needs them.
Strong hitbox.
The up air not doing enough to kill, which is unfortunate. And
He's out of that range now.
Yeah, now he's in a tight spot because Mii Sword Fighter has this very specific percentage where certain moves will kill, and he's very effective. And that's usually when the opponent is anywhere from 100% to about 110%. And unfortunately, because this Roy's at 135%, those key kill moves aren't going to be as effective, and this Roy evening up this game.
I mean, Roy, once Mii Sword Fighter gets to around 50, you're in kill percentage. Because something that Roy hits is either going to kill you, or it's going to lead up into something that can kill you.
Yeah, absolutely. Roy is such a strong character, and it's not just that he's strong, he's also absurdly fast.
Yeah.
And it is widely agreed upon that he is probably within the top 10, most likely top 5 characters of this game right now.
Yeah, I have my opinions on Roy. He's really good.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that, and we'll say that the majority of the Smash community will agree that Roy is very good.
Roy is very, very good.
And oh my goodness, phenomenal DI by Talo Halo.
Yeah, DI being a mechanic you can do in this game where you can, just like how in any other game you move around, you can move around while in the air, and you can use it to keep yourself from hitting the invisible barrier by...
Oh my goodness, the down air connecting.
Wow, a great job of Talo Halo stopping him at the ledge and keeping the pressure on him.
Yep, but that hitbox is going to hit through stage.
Defoe trying to do everything he can to take this stock off of Talo Halo.
We're seeing a lot of up B and neutral play, which is, Roy, I guess.
Yeah, Roy is very much one of his moves being up special, very strong. It helps him recover and get back, but it's also this big, strong flame sword attack.
An amazing kill option.
Absolutely, and a lot of his aerial attacks are so quick and do a lot of damage and can combo into each other, into themselves. And so you see this Roy being smart and throwing out a lot of those, but Talo Halo knowing how to be just outside the range of the hitbox where he'll get hit so that he doesn't take any damage from these attacks.
You see a lot of Roys in tournament too, which is probably in Talo Halo's advantage, because I think out of all of the players at SAGU, he definitely has the most tournament experience.
Absolutely,
and that's gonna do it.
There it is, that special Mii Sword Fighter combo where you go for the grab, you do what's known as a down throw, where when you're holding someone with a grab, you tilt down on the stick and it throws them downward, and that launches them at just the right angle to where you can go up with an upward aerial attack and get the stock.
It is the kill option.
Yep, and that's what we were talking about before, where the Roy had gotten up to 135%, and because the percentage of the opponent is too high, when you do the down throw, he goes up too far, and you can't confirm with the up air.
Yeah.
So him being right in 80% to about 110%, and Talo Halo knowing it.
Is that if that tornado hits you or that down throw works?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's your stock.
Yep, that's it. No, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Especially against someone like Talo Halo, who's spent so much time practicing where to find people, how to hit them properly, and very, very good.
Makes you good at Smash?
Yeah.
Question mark?
Wow. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? But now we are going into Game 2. SAGU is now up 1-0. And starting again with Efer and his Luigi. Very, very good. He did a great job last time. Them starting with a duck hunt was kind of throwing, kind of threw for a loop, because up until this point they were expecting the duck hunt to be last. So now knowing the duck hunt is probably going to be first, they might switch it up. We don't know.
I think it was a good move.
You think so?
I believe so, because if the duck hunt can get BKR to his last stock, as well as go through Efer, that puts them at a huge advantage.
That's true. That's true. We're pretty much the only...
Oh, but we're seeing a change-up.
Okay, so Defoe is now going to be starting for them, and I would assume that means the duck hunt is going last now.
Makes sense.
And so we will most likely see Talo Halo up against this duck hunt unless BKR can do some work and prevent that from happening. Or even Efer, if he can continue to get Luigi combos.
I love Luigi combos.
Luigi combos are so...
It's satisfying.
Yeah, because everything just kind of works as long as it's all there, and as long as you are putting yourself in the right spot. But wow, this Roy. And see, this is what we're talking about, this Roy. He's so quick, but he also does so much damage.
It's knockback, too, because some of Roy's moves don't do, granted, they are good moves that do a lot of damage, but they don't do as much damage as you would think, and then they hit you, and you fly 8 miles away.
Yeah, and honestly, for a character like Luigi, who's not super light, but also not super heavy, and in this game, weight is actually a big deal, because the heavier you are, the less you fly back. and the lighter you are, the more you fly back, and it's easier for you to die. And so, you know, Luigi being kind of on the lighter end of characters.
Oh, that was risky.
That was very risky. But Aoife doing his best to stay in and put up a good fight. He's looking for this kill confirm. He's got this really strong up special uppercut attack. He's also got some other moves like his down special, which makes this little tornado around him that can do a lot of damage and take stocks. But right now, he's playing very safe.
Trying to rack up the percent a little bit.
Yeah, throwing out his projectiles. And oh,
the up smash
of course, the up smash attack, very strong, covers both sides. Very good, and very quick.
Yeah. You see Roy coming at him. Wow, he is at 52,
and
oh my lord, he is dead.
That is the zero to death. That's what we're talking about.
He is so excited. Look at him.
Aoife seeing.
Do it again.
Oh,
do it again,
I
please.
want to see it again. Oh, okay. Unfortunately not. But that is what we're talking about. Those Luigi combos.
That's amazing.
That was absolutely wonderful. Great job by Aoife. And now he's actually a stock ahead and may go into that Mega Man game if he can keep up the pressure.
I guarantee you that did some mental damage.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure this Roy is, you know, doing everything he can to try and reset this game. But, I mean, that's got to do something to your headspace. And, yeah, I mean, what was that, a forward tilt?
Yeah, forward tilt, forward smash. It doesn't matter. It's Roy.
It's Roy. All of them all kill very well and good.
And you know, that's okay. We're okay with that.
We are. But Aoife doing a great job holding his own, trying to close out this last stock. Again, being very patient. You're seeing a lot of these bubbles popping out. That's their shields. Now, the thing about shields is it's a little tricky because the longer you hold your shield out, the smaller it gets and the easier you are to hit. And if your shield gets too small, it'll shield break and you're stunned for a long time and the opponent can get a really strong hit on you.
At that point, it's probably better just to take the damage and to not shield. When your shield starts looking like an M&M, it's probably time to stop using it.
Probably.
Unless you're Jigglypuff, in which case you should not really hold your shield.
Oh, and
that's unfortunate.
The jab attack into the back air, that is a very good confirm for Roy. So strong.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
But man, the zero to death.
The zero to death.
It was so fast. It was so clean.
Wow. That is what you want as a Luigi main. That is exactly what you're looking for. Because Luigi, his combos are so explosive and so dangerous. And if you can hit them just right, as we saw,
it works.
They can be at 0% and you will take their stock.
Ah, man. That's insane.
That was awesome. I'm
unreal.
So glad we got to see that live on the SAGU Sports Network. So thank you, SAGU Sports Network. Also, thank you to SAGU Esports for playing the game, being a part of this. And now we're going to hop into BKR. Now he's going up against the Roy. And the Roy will have one stock, and we will see. Did BKR play against the Roy last time? I don't think he did.
No, he didn't.
No.
Wait. No, he didn't. You're right.
No, yeah, because he played the Duck Hunt, and then he had played the Duck Hunt first, and then he went into the Mega Man.
And the Mega Man, yeah.
Took
him and then
So this is going to be BKR's first matchup against the Roy. So we're going to see how he's able to handle this. I honestly think, considering they're both super quick, super combo-heavy characters, this is just all going to be about who can get their combo starters.
I would argue it's going to be about who controls Banana better.
No, that's fair.
But yes, combo starters too, because they both have high killing combo potential.
Absolutely. And as we can see here, Roy going back down to one stock since he only had one left after the last game. And BKR having this...
All three.
BKR coming in with all three, but SAGU is technically down a stock right now in the No, they are down a stock in the crew battle game. But there you go. There goes BKR with his banana. And as we were talking about, banana is going to be a huge aspect in this because it's
goodness. These up airs.
Yes, Roy being very strong and his aerial attacks all comboing into each other. But BKR knowing his way around the matchup. And was that a taunt or was that him banana?
No, that was him trying to pull banana, and it was right next to him.
Okay.
And it kind of looks like a taunt, but it's Diddy Kong saying, "I don't know what to do. The banana's already out, man."
Yeah. So almost killed.
But again, up smash is a fast move, not a super strong move. It'll work now, though. I believe he's in the percentage that it will work.
And going for his monkey flip attack, getting Roy off stage, playing around bananas best he can. And this Roy being very dangerous. Oh, but the back air, and that'll do it.
Barely.
Just enough to take the stock.
Man.
But BKR resetting the stocks, 6-6. And we're going to see if in this next game, I assume it's going to be the Mega Man again. He did really good against the Mega Man last time.
It's true.
He only had one stock, and he brought him down to one stock. He took two all by himself. Yeah. But the Mega Man, he's good. He knows the matchup. He knows how to play the projectiles. Very patient, very safe. But honestly, in my opinion, I think Roy was at a little bit of a disadvantage there. I do think Roy's a better character, but Diddy Kong having Banana, that is so absurdly strong. And it's the only matchup where
everybody says that. And then you got to realize that Roy can grab Banana too.
That's fair.
So, but yes, Diddy Kong is obviously an advantage because Diddy Kong pulls Banana, and then Diddy Kongs usually know how to use Banana better than anybody else because that's what they do. That's their character.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah, in every other matchup, we're seeing a whole bunch of projectiles being thrown out, but that was the one matchup where Diddy Kong was the only one with a projectile.
It's true.
And so in pretty much every game from now on, we are going to be seeing a lot of projectiles, a lot of projectile play. But hopefully we will be going into this next matchup, and honestly, I think the way both of these teams are playing right now, they're both doing very, very well. SAU doing a great job at controlling the field. I feel like they all kind of fit into the same play style. Especially who we were looking at earlier with Crimson the Ruddy and Freshbot with their Mega Man and Duck Hunt. The Duck Hunt being so strong against all these characters and it being kind of this unorthodox pick. How is SAGU going to handle that? They did well. They did well.
But is it a repeatable result? I think so.
Absolutely. And also, we haven't seen Taylor Halo against a Duck Hunt yet.
It's that's going to be a fun match.
That is going to be very interesting.
And they threw the Duck Hunt.
Oh, wow. Okay. So the Duck Hunt is actually going second. So
makes sense.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see why they would do that and hoping that this Duck Hunt can
repeat success.
Yeah. And do a lot of work, but BKR.
Here's my question. How much is he going to adapt from last match? And especially this Duck Hunt's playstyle, because granted, he didn't do as hot as he did against, say, the Mega Man, but he also learned from that match.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hear you.
And we're just kind of seeing a lot of, wow, the cannon, the up air, makes sense. Duck Hunt things. I'm not going to lie. I really enjoy the design aspect of Duck Hunt. And a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that.
Yeah, the design of the character makes his hitboxes and movement very, very weird.
I just think he's one of the most creative characters in this roster, considering that he came from a game that you are, using, what was it, on the SNES?
Yeah, I believe so.
You would, have a controller that wasn't a controller but was, and I love what the animating team did with him, and that's my hot take.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you can see, BKR doing his best to try and rack up some damage, but at 150%, he's 157%. He's at max rage right now, so he's doing a lot of damage. But if he can't close the gap and getting close to this Duck Hunt, but as you can see, getting some good hits on.
The combos are there.
Yeah, and he's doing his best, but this Duck Hunt being very strong, almost hitting him with Can there.
He knows he learned from last time.
Yes, and he's holding shield against that up special jetpack attack. And both playing very safe. BKR being at 196%, almost 200%.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, and
that'll send you to the
any
moon.
hit from pretty close to anything was going to take the stock there. But BKR hoping to even it back up.
At least get a combo that can lead into something that will kill, like the banana grab. Ooh, and the up air. Normally he'll go for a back air right there.
Right there, I think he was going for percent because, and able to, wow.
Goodness.
Okay, I was stunned trying to figure out what was going on there.
Custom combos.
But there goes BKR with the down tilt into back air attack. Very strong. The most backward air attacks on most characters are either really strong, have a big hitbox, are really quick. Most aerials kind of have that same energy about them, save for a few specific examples. But Diddy Kong's is very quick, can actually kill in the right circumstances, and BKR using it to his full advantage. But now again, 97%, or 87%, now at 100%. talking about this projectile game from this Duck Hunt, doing a really good job at controlling his area.
Let's talk about stage control real quick, because we're seeing Diddy Kong having a lot of these combos that do high strings of damage, but this Duck Hunt really is, dominating kind of from the side, which you don't really see with a lot of characters, at least in Smash Ultimate.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. And he's playing this stage very well, limiting BKR's options, because where you are on the stage can drastically change what you're able to do and how you're able to do it. And as you can see right now, BKR doing everything he can just to get away from the ledge, from the edge of the stage, and just trying to get some footing here. And again, as we see, 160%, 182%, it just keeps racking up. And not getting taken out by Can there. But BKR at 100% rage. And trying not to die. The thing about Clay Pigeon, though, is it doesn't actually kill.
It's not really a kill move, yeah.
But it does rack up a lot of percent. And so allowing yourself to get hit by it just 2 or 3 times can usually lead to you being at a percentage where you can die. And that
I think we were waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, Duck Hunt has a move where he can drop these little cowboy desperado characters that can fire a shot from their gun after a few seconds. And depending on which one it is, because you can change what kind of cowboy desperado you throw out, some of them can kill, and they are very strong. And so Duck Hunt playing around that very, very well.
Yeah.
This being Freshbot, doing a very good job on this Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
But BKR getting the up smash and
not
able to take the stock. So close.
Oh, the up smash out of the side
Duck
B.
Hunt getting that up smash, doing a really good job at getting a lot of follow-up moves on his initial attacks. And these two playing fairly patient. Duck Hunt doing a great job at playing around Can, and BKR at 80% already.
And the forward throw, maybe?
Yeah. Oh, and if he had been launched the other way, that might have taken the stock. And
wow.
Wow. If you could see BKR's face there, he's as shocked as we were.
I didn't expect that to work.
I didn't either, and I didn't think it would kill that early.
Platform.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably what that was, but it was very, very early.
And it was very impressive. This Duck Hunt doing a really good job, and now SAGU is down to 3 stocks. I mean, Southern Arkansas 5 stocks up, and now it's pretty much up to Talo Halo to see if he can take this.
It's a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, yes.
And I did not think that I was going to be saying that about a Duck Hunt, but here we are.
Here we are. This Duck Hunt being very strong, being very, very good. But we're going to see if Talo Halo has a response for this, because he's got some experience. He's got some all-around just good game knowledge, but I don't know.
Stage picks are huge in this, too, because, I mean, they're both very, I have to control the stage, and I have to be zoning you and, making sure that you're at a certain distance from me until I need to hit something that is going to either take a stock or put me in a state of advantage.
Yeah.
So I think stage pick in this is going to be huge as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, depending on whether there's platforms, where the barrier is. I mean, even things like that. People don't a lot of times think about that, but the different stages have different sized invisible barriers. So it's either easier to kill in certain locations or harder to kill in certain locations. So all of that will play into this. And here, going on to the stage Final Destination, which there are no platforms. Honestly, I think that could put Talo Halo. I would say that puts me, Sword Fighter, kind of at an even footing with this projectile game, at least.
I think I think it was an equalizer.
Yeah.
A pick that would be like, hey, let's make it to where neither of us can use platforms to our advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. And just for all of you at home who are still kind of trying to figure out this game, platforms are basically small stages. Small stages on top of the main stage. So you have the main platform that they're running on now, and it's what takes up most of the area of the ground. But as you saw on the last stage, there were these smaller places that they could stand on, and those are what we call platforms. Right. And they can change the dynamic of the map because it adds a sense of elevation. It adds a sense of, of 3-dimensional play.
I mean, think about it like this. you have an opponent who's above you, and you have a move that can hit above you. Now, they're not just falling above you, they're standing above you, so they have to either jump or move out of the way or drop through the platform. And that's another thing about platforms in this game, is that you are able to fall through them, so that leads up to different scenarios that you have to deal with, and it just adds another element to the game.
Absolutely. And here we have Talo Halo using his up special, which, hey, it worked out for him. But
Oh my goodness, the DI.
This projectile pressure from this Duck Hunt being a very strong opponent. But Talo Halo using his projectiles to his advantage, doing the best he can. But Duck Hunt getting a great backward aerial attack and taking the stock. And now SAGU, Talo Halo only has 2 stocks left, and there's a whole nother player.
It's true.
On the SAU team. But Talo Halo not going down without a fight. Doing really good to cover his bases. Hoping to try and get some kind of kill confirm here and take the stock, because Duck Hunt is at 97%, which is optimal for me Sword Fighter, but these projectiles are just a menace to deal with. This Duck Hunt playing very, very well.
It's hard to approach.
Absolutely, and Talo Halo getting punished for even the smallest misstep and not able to get the up air, but the back air will do it.
Yep. I think a lot of this is Talo Halo either trying to approach or trying to avoid the projectiles with his own. And Duck Hunt just has so many quote-unquote stationary projectiles, right? So you have the Cowboy that comes out. You have Can, that if you hit it, it's going to explode. You have Clay Pigeon, which is coming out at a certain rate. Whereas Sword Fighter has things that are going to have to be constantly moving, you know?
Absolutely. And Talo Halo doing his best to try and rack up damage, put this Duck Hunt by Freshbot into a difficult position, but Freshbot doing a great job at playing to his strengths, playing around his projectiles, using his projectiles to set up for future combos. And it's making it quite difficult for Talo Halo to get some damage on.
And, ooh, barely not connecting with that tornado.
And we see these two going back and forth, both it being a very... Oh, and Talo Halo getting the up air, and that's what's going to take the stock. Now, luckily, Talo Halo is going into this next game with 2 stocks against SAU's 3, which is not too bad.
Not shabby. No. Not optimal, not ideal, but workable.
Yeah. It's still winnable. It would be a little rough going in with 1 stock, but even then, knowing Talo Halo, that is still winnable.
It happens.
Yeah, he has come back with just 1 stock and absolutely won games left and right, but it's still going to be a fight. And so this next, we'll see if they stick with the Mega Man. They might switch up their character. I'm not sure.
I would be surprised if they do, just because the Mega Man was making headway.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, with that projectile style play, I will say that Tornado with me Sword Fighter is very strong. So the Mega Man will have to kind of think a little outside the box on how he can... I mean, how do you think Mega Man could get around that Tornado and Chakram gameplay?
Shielding.
Really?
I mean, it's as easy as that. Either that or learning... I mean, I've recently been in the process of learning the parry on that Tornado, because it is a hard move to deal with, because it's a big hitbox, it does a lot of damage, and it sends up into combos.
Yeah.
So maybe running away, also pressuring with all of their aerial options, being up close.
Yeah.
Sword Fighter kind of struggles a little bit with that rush down, but I think zoning.
Yeah.
Zoning and rush down.
Absolutely. I think I agree with you. I think if he can back off, play his game straight, but as we can see here, we have a Kazuya Mishima.
They don't know.
They don't know. So Talo Halo has quite a bit of Kazuya experience.
You thought Steve was bad. Just wait until you see unless this Kazuya is just out of their mind. Luckily,
Talo Halo now putting his thinking cap back on.
I can commentate Mishima. Let's go. Oh, trying to get that electric out of the grab. Wasn't able to get it.
Wow!
Yep.
This Kazuya.
And he taunted. I will say that is technically against the ECA rules and regulations, but that's okay. It's Kazuya.
Wow. Kazuya getting an early stock, killing him. That was actually a down smash attack, but it has a hitbox where if you're sitting at the ledge, it'll spike you, and a spike is where the opponent is off stage and you hit them so that they go straight down and die. And wow. So Talo Halo down to 1 stock. And this Kazuya
That happened so early, too.
playing absolutely out of his mind, doing a really great job, but Talo Halo with these upward aerial attacks, these grabs.
I believe in him.
I do too. I think he can do this if he continues to play to his strengths. There it is, the Chakram, the Tornado, knowing when to approach, knowing how to approach. And unfortunately not getting the up air, but getting it there.
And, yep, so, okay, another thing about Kazuya. Kazuya glows red, he has Rage Drive. He does more damage, and he has a move that does an absurd amount of damage and kickback.
Absolutely.
Or knockback.
And it's also what's known as a command grab. So there is a move that every character has that's known as a grab, which is a very special input, and it works in a very specific way. And wow, Talo Halo getting a lot of damage here. Getting him back up to 75%. But then some characters have what's known as a command grab, which allows you to grab people in the air. It allows you to grab them quickly. And Talo Halo, not getting the kill hitbox on his up air. But as you talked about that Rage Drive and then losing it,
drive, yep.
Unfortunately.
Woo, that was a scary fast fall. And oh no, the American air dodge not killing him, but Talo Halo is.
Talo Halo knowing this matchup so well, and the Kazuya trying to figure out a way to finish this game off of that really good early stock. But Talo Halo applying the pressure and getting him to 50%.
You know, it's a scary situation for Talo Halo to be in because he is at a very high percentage. And, going for the hard read with forward smash. And this is for, not going into that set 3. And right now he's evening it up with the and that. Kazuya has Rage Drive, though, and he's trying to use it. And that. It's so close. Talo Halo's okay because. Hear me out.
Okay, and he doesn't get hit by the down smash.
Kazuya really can't use that Rage Drive anymore, or at least the grab with it, because he'll lose it. But if he hits it, he's good. Oh my goodness, my heart is racing right now.
Very patient. It's absolutely anybody's game right now. Is Kazuya trying to reflect this Tornado?
Which, by the way, is an input.
Yeah, Kazuya has a lot of moves that he has to deal with, a lot more than the standard 27 of most characters.
Kazuya doesn't really follow up on that. And there will take away the Rage Drive.
And now Kazuya in a state of disadvantage.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen.
That is the game. Wow. That was tense. Oh my.
Not only did he get spiked at nearly 0, but he brought that back.
He brought it back from being down at what? Look at him on the camera. Just
Talo Halo
very
says,
excited. Wow.
I love your top tier character. Here's me, Sword Fighter.
Yeah, and you know what? Me, Sword Fighter, I have a giant tornado that I can throw at you.
Also, a spinny sword move that's real fun and kills in a certain range, but if I miss it, I'm just gonna die.
Yeah, I mean, playing so well, but that Kazuya with that first stock, that was so well played.
I respect it, and I wonder if the taunt was an oopsie.
It might have been.
It might have been.
I think it might have been. I think he misinputted the taunt.
It was a poor timing misinput.
Yeah,
but I think it was.
Yeah, it was
for their sake.
Yeah, very poor timing misinput. Let's hope so.
But okay, but here's the thing. Kazuya does have a move that is a taunt.
Oh, that's true.
And it does what, 20-something%? He's such a wacky and zany character.
Yeah, he's a very different character than most. He is one of those DLC characters or downloadable content character, which is one you buy after the game's already come out. So you have to purchase him after the fact. But he's very strong. He's actually comes from another fighting game known as Tekken, and just a really powerful, in-your-face, like bruiser kind of fighter.
Right.
But as you can see here, Eifer doing a really good job in the early, but kind of struggling with especially them throwing the duck hunt at him.
Yeah.
In that second game and in the first game too.
Was able to take one.
Yeah, he was. He was able to get a stock off the duck hunt, and unfortunately,
that's just it happens.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some highlights real quick about
absolutely.
what happened throughout the night, because there were a couple things that I want to touch on.
Yeah. Yes. Go ahead, please.
Okay. First, the 0 to death by Eifer.
Wonderful.
Oh my goodness.
That is the Luigi we're talking about. Luigi has these explosive combos, and they are so powerful.
And I also wanted to talk about, what were your thoughts on some of the back and forth projectile games that we saw?
It's very patient gameplay.
Yeah.
a lot of it is trying to wait for an opportunity. In this game, we've talked about this before, there are different states of the game flow, and this is in most sports, but there's advantage, disadvantage, and neutral. And advantage is when you are actively attacking and comboing an opponent. Disadvantage is when you are actively being comboed and attacked. And neutral is when both characters are kind of just playing safe, playing at a distance. No one's really hitting the other or getting a hit. It's just kind of this.
You're trying to get into advantage while you're in neutral and not be in disadvantage.
Absolutely. And because it's so projectile heavy, we just saw a lot of neutral.
Yeah.
A lot of neutral play where these characters that their entire move set, their entire set of moves is projectiles.
Yep.
That duck hunt, it being so heavy on can and clay pigeon and different stuff like that. But I think they all played really well. That duck hunt was a menace.
The duck hunt was a menace, but you know what else was a menace to me emotionally? The down smash from that Kazuya.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
It was so good.
That was you being a Kazuya player. What
I dabble.
what was the strongest point from this Kazuya?
The inputs were good. The reflex came in when they needed to go through for the tornadoes. He was able to actually use one. It's kind of hard to follow up on that though because Kazuya is a little bit slow laterally, but it is what it is. The down smash was executed very well.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to play against a projectile character with Kazuya, but if you are hitting your reflex, you're doing a great job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also the back air.
Yeah, that
was really nice.
That was very close.
But Halo has the directional input skills, and it came into play.
Those DI skills are top notch. He's been playing this for a while. He knows his stuff, but that was very well played. And as you can see, Efer, BKR, Halo, all doing a phenomenal job. Halo going 9-3, and this is the Halo we know, doing a lot of this anchor work, holding down the fort. And Efer, really unfortunate that he got matched up with the duck hunt that first game. But BKR also pulling his weight, going even.
Yeah.
And I think they all just did a really phenomenal job. And same with SAU. They did a really good job at getting the flow of the game. I think mixing up who was playing when was really smart.
Placement was key in that, and I think that really helped them, especially to get such an upper hand in the second game.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, that last game, that was so close. And
quite the clutch.
Congratulations to SAGU. They are continuing their undefeated streak. They are now, I believe, 4-0. And we can't wait to see what our SAGU Lions are able to do from this point on. But I think that's it for me. You got anything else?
I think I'm good.
All right. This has been the SAGU Sports Network. My name is Evan the Asher Kid, and I am here with my co-host,
The Duke.
And we want to thank you for tuning in to our Super Smash Bros. Ultimate broadcast. Just for you people at home, tomorrow we're streaming the game Valorant. On Wednesdays, we broadcast Rocket League. And on Friday, we broadcast Call of Duty. All of which are really phenomenal games. You got great teams. They're all doing really, really well, and we really want to see you there. But if you haven't already, please leave a comment. We want to know some of your thoughts on the games, on some of these matchups.
Yeah.
We want to know how you felt about the 0 to death Efer Luigi combo, as well as the Kazuya 0 to death, basically.
I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was a 0 to death, and it was very well played. But that is going to be it for us. And we thank you for tuning in. This has been the SAGU Sports Network.